Okay, this is going to be your Kenmore dryer reconditioning video. So first thing you need to do is take this panel off here. These got these clips on them. Excuse my fingernails, I've been working today. So anyway, you got to stick a flathead screwdriver in there on this particular one. Push down on that little lever thing. Take that screwdriver and push down on that lever and you can pull this out. And then we need to loosen these screws back here. 2, 3, 4. And then we need to loosen these screws here and here. Yeah, so you do have to take this off. The screw here, screw there, and screw. And that's all the screws. Oh, the screw here. Let's take this wire loose. Remember to hook it back up. This is the sensor, dampness sensor. And then there's your disclaimer for you. Consult your local professional. Take these springs loose. See, this one, it's been a while since it's had anything done to it. Okay, so basically we got that thing off. You can look in here. This is going to be your thermal fuse. It's the most common problem. Basically it always blows. It's a non-resettable fuse. This fuse has to be replaced. Put it in there. That one commonly will blow when you have poor flow. So if you have a kink vent or you got lint plugged up inside your machine, that fuse will blow right there. It's a common problem here. You can access the heat element, test the heat element, and we still have to take this and that screw off, and then these two screws up here. This has a Torx on it. They don't always have Torx, but yeah, this one, it's good to have a Torx when you're working on these, because if you show up with a Torx and you don't have it, it's going to be tricky. So we got these screws loose here in the back, and so it has to be kind of sort of pushed forward a little bit and then lifted up. Okay, so got the front panel loose. What I do is I will lube the rollers with a little bit of Triflow, and we gotta loosen this belt. So the belt was a little tricky. It's kind of hard to see in there, but you can sort of look at it and then figure out how it goes back on. Front support for $39. Connect that belt. It's going to be on the idler. Pull it off the motor kind of thing. And we're going to lift this and we can look and see what we got. So it's pretty linted up in here. Usually when I see the lint built up in here, it means it's had poor ventilation. So this exhaust vent has been plugged up. That's usually, this belt is on its way out pretty quick. So that belt should be replaced. If we go here and check the rollers, the rollers are good. So I don't know why they got rid of this one. I got this at the scrapyard, and could have a bad heating element. We have to take a meter and go and check the heat element. Make sure all the lint's out of the motor area. Check this fuse. This is the thermal cutoff fuse that typically will go when you don't have any heat. Sometimes this one here will go. Sometimes the heat element will go. And sometimes up there it gets plugged up in there. So yeah, this is basically the heavy-duty Kenmore, and this is this 4-roller model. Some of them only have 2 rollers in the back. This is the 4-roller model. Okay, so I put a meter on the heat element, and it seems to be bad. So it's got the dreaded heat element issue. And found some quarters. Any good ones in here? I'm telling you, man, these old pennies. 1963. These old pennies, man. You look at the new ones and look at the old ones, there's definitely a difference, man. Well, they're pulling the rug out from under us, man. You know, like these quarters compared to the old ones. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to pull this out. I'm going to show you how to tie the heat element. Yes, so this is the temporary quick fix. So basically you want to kind of straighten these out a little bit. And clean them up with a little sandpaper, Scotch-Brite, steel wool. Get them nice and clean. And you want to put a couple of wraps around and twist them in. They actually have connectors that connect. You can connect these things. I've never used them, but I have some somewhere, but I've never used them. I usually tie them, and I've had fairly good luck tying these, as long as I clean them up really good and get a couple of good 3-4 twists in them. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so there it is. What I normally do is I try and keep my greasy hands off this thing and then twist it. You have to sort of hold one end while you twist the other one, and then when you're putting it back together, you want to make sure it's not protruding too much. So basically it's got to be kind of like squashed down in there somewhere. And I usually leave the ends open just to add extra cooling capability, but you can see I got like 1, 2, 3 good twists on that. And you don't want to go too tight, because if you go too tight it'll just bust the heat element up. So you want to get in that nice couple of turns on that, nice and snug, not too tight. But yeah, that's how I do it. Okay, getting her back together. So this has the dreaded bubble gum. So what the bubble gum does is it will heat up and put speckles on your white clothes. So you want to make sure that bubble gum is off. It's normally around these edges sometimes. So you want to take something that's almost like a credit card. You take a hair dryer and a credit card and scrape it off. Thing is, if you're using something sharp like this, metal, you're going to scratch the paint if you're not real careful. So ideally you want to take like a hair dryer and a credit card and scrape this stuff off. Otherwise you're going to have little black speckles on your white clothes or your bed clothes. Can you imagine how this stuff gets in here? I don't know. What, people leave gum in their pockets? They chew their gum and then they put it in their pocket when they're not wanting to chew it. I don't get it, but yeah, it ends up in here. And so get it off unless you want the black little speckles on your white stuff. Okay, here's a super MacGyver hack. In emergencies, you could temporarily use this. So what I've done is I had a rotten belt. The belt was pretty well rotted out. You can see all the shiny stuff is the coat of E6000. So I put a coat of E6000 on the inside and the outside. Excuse my dirty hands, I've been working. So I've got a coat on the outside and the inside. And so ideally you want to let it dry for at least an hour before you put it back on. It's actually pretty dry right now. It's only been like 15 minutes. And we got some good sunshine on it. So yeah, that's the super MacGyver hack for emergency purposes only for your old belt that you just happen to notice is about ready to fall apart.